the sunrise hits my face like pouring whiskey on a fire. Woke up with a t-shirt on, I'm pretty sure belongs to a stranger. Last night I know we laughed too hard, I think we spilled some drinks and tattooed some ink.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Also, if you are new, welcome. I don't know about you, but this weekend has been a chaotic weekend. We've got a lot of cool stuff going on. We've had some tiring stuff going on, just literally everything, and my house is in desperate need of a good reset. I can guarantee you that. So today we are doing a whole house reset, starting off in Bjorn and Freya's room. So I'm curious, when do your kids start school? Start school in the morning. So for us, the grade school starts at, what is it? I want to say at 7:25 is when you are allowed to drop your kids off, but they can get there anywhere between like that time and 7:50. If you're at past 7:55, you're late. So we always get there right around the 7:25 time. And then Xander, who is in middle school, doesn't even leave the house till like 9:05, 9:10 every morning. So there's a huge time difference between me taking the younger two to school and Xander heading off for school. So that is why I'm starting off in these rooms first. I like to go in the kids' rooms at least once a month and do a more of a deep cleaning. They do a really good job at keeping their own rooms clean, but there's just certain things that they're not going to think of that I like to go in and do. Making sure that everything is dusted off. Windows were a big thing for me on this day. The windows all around the house needed to be cleaned pretty desperately, and we are getting into that season where it's really nice to open the windows at night. So I wanted to make sure the windows were clean, the windowsills, everything like that. But talking about this weekend, so I am tired because past 2 days I have been up with Freya. Freya ended up getting a stomach bug. She is feeling better today. She's actually back at school. We kept her home yesterday, even though she probably would have been fine going to school. But this morning she seemed completely fine. But that is so exhausting. I'm sure you guys as parents know when your kids are sick, like, it is everything. You're making sure they've got all the things they need. Usually snuggles are a must and it can just get really tiring. I felt so bad. She was absolutely miserable. Out of all my kids, she is definitely the one that gets sick the easiest. So we were just doing all the things to help her feel as good as possible. But on top of that, we also have some more house projects coming up. So I'm really excited about sharing some of those house projects.
Heart beats up and down, I'm in a gambling phase. We're going round and round, it's a trampoline stay. Oh, it's like I never run out of breath. And I don't care if we make a mess, it doesn't matter what's coming next. So can we just be bona fide? Girl, you got me waking up confused, lost in time.
Now, you might be wondering why we're doing house projects and trying to sell our house at the same time. So I know I did mention in one of the last videos that we were talking about taking the house off the market for the holidays. And we did end up doing that also on this weekend. That was one of the things we ended up doing. we are definitely in a position where there is no reason to move. So Bobby and I had talked and we're like, we do not want to be dealing with showings and all of these things when we're getting into the holiday season. Our time of year, this time of year, is already hectic. We had Freya's birthday already, Athena's birthday, Xander's birthday is on Sunday, Bjorn's birthday is next Thursday. So birthdays this time of year get crazy, and then all the holidays pile in, and it just gets so insane that we knew that was one thing we did not want to deal with. But the fun thing is because we took the house off the market, there's projects around the house that I have wanted to do that I didn't want to do while the house was on the market that we are going to tackle now. So I am really excited to start those. One of those being the kids' bathroom. That actually just got started yesterday, and if you follow Bobby on Instagram, you would have seen a little sneak peek. He walked in with the camera while I was sawing off some stuff. Actually, I shouldn't even say what the makeover is going to be. I always say it's not going to be too crazy, but then I get into something and I just keep going. So who knows? Like I said, yesterday was just demo day. So we will see where this leads us. I will say with that, I am not sure if I will have a video on Friday. I'm thinking I still will. I have to work it around the current project because there is no way the bathroom will be done by Friday. So we shall see. But yeah, I'm excited about that. The kids' bathroom is the one room we really haven't done anything other than just like cosmetic stuff after we moved in. So getting in here and really tackling some of the areas that have been bothering me, I am really excited about doing.
Wouldn't lie to you, doesn't matter what I do. She's got a hold on me. She knows how to drive a truck, but she lets me pick her up when we're going dancing. My heart starts beating when my headlights shining on her. She's my country girl. I couldn't tell you what she's doing with me. She's so damn out of my league. She's a little bit crazy on the weekends, dancing in her red dress, and I love the way she looks in my eyes.
So I know we have a bunch of new people here. I recently, yesterday, got a message from one of you about the main cleaners that I know I use. So obviously I use a bunch of different cleaners because I'm someone that I enjoy trying new stuff out, and when I am not feeling like cleaning, the best thing for me sometimes is using a new cleaner. It just excites me about the process of cleaning. But I wanted to go over the different ones. So obviously Pine Sol. You guys know I love Pine Sol. That's my multi-purpose cleaner. And when it comes to cleaning, to me, a good multi-purpose cleaner is like the best thing in the world to have because you can do so much with it. You can pretty much clean any surface with a really good multi-purpose cleaner. The next one is my DIY window cleaner that I use often, which also can be used as a multi-purpose cleaner, which is just water, vinegar, and water, vinegar, and Dawn dish soap. So I always get asked on measurements. I will be honest, I eyeball things. I will say it's probably a 2-to-1 ratio on water to vinegar. So 2 parts water, 1 part vinegar. And then when it comes to the Dawn dish soap, I use about a tablespoon or 2 because I have a larger spray bottle. But you really want to be cautious on that when it comes to window cleaning. Too much of the Dawn will make it too sudsy and too soapy and make it streaky. But that is one that, yes, I love using on the windows. It can be used on other things, so it works as a multi-purpose cleaner as well. And then the last one she asked about was my DIY Dawn Power Wash. So that one is really easy. That is the blue spray in my kitchen. So I use a mister bottle that I got off of Amazon. And I do a 50-50 of water and rubbing alcohol. And in that one, I probably use about 4 tablespoons of the Dawn dish soap. I go based off of color. There's a certain color that it turns, and that's the color that I know suds up the best. So once again, I do not measure anything. I really do eyeball it all, but I knew I wanted to answer those questions on here because I always figure if someone is asking me, there's probably other people wondering as well.
I'm gonna dance by myself like nobody's watching. Don't really care if my rhythm's off, 'cause I'm gonna dance like nobody's watching me. I'm gonna dance by myself like nobody's watching. Don't really care if my rhythm's off, 'cause I'm gonna dance like nobody's watching me. I'm gonna dance, 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 dance. I'm gonna dance, 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 dance. I'm gonna...
These ceiling fans, though, I probably have not cleaned in months. I actually just noticed the other day that they were in desperate need of cleaning because we run our ceiling fans like all the time. We are definitely a household that we don't like air just sitting and it getting stale. So we constantly have ceiling fans running in our house. But with that, when they are running, you do not notice how dirty they really are. So when we had a one last showing on, what day was that? Monday or Tuesday. And they had hit the switches in the bedrooms to turn off the lights. When usually we leave the switches on and we just pull the little handle or press the buttons to turn the lights off, but leave the ceiling fans on. And boy, oh boy, when I got home, I was like, okay, that is definitely going on my to-do list. That was another reason why the kids' bedrooms getting a good, thorough, deep cleaning was a must, because I saw their ceiling fans. I'm like, yeah, these are definitely areas that I do not think of as often as I probably should. So I wanted to get in there and give those a really good cleaning, like I said, along with the windows. The windows to me are always so important because we love natural light. Absolutely love it. That is, well, there's multiple reasons we don't have blinds in the house, but one of those reasons is I don't want to disturb the light in the house, and I feel like curtains work just as well when I do want it to be dark. But also I despise cleaning blinds. Our first house had blinds in it, and I just always hated having to clean those things. So ever since moving out of that house, I have not put blinds in any of our houses. And actually this house had blinds and we took them down because I did not want to deal with having to keep them clean. I know some people absolutely love blinds and whatnot, but for me, I would much rather have curtains and just pull the curtains shut when we want to block out the sun than having to dust individual blinds and everything. So, but all that being said, we also love natural light. So having these windows really, really clean is always really nice. After a good fresh cleaning, it's funny because I never realize how dirty they are until after I am done cleaning, and I'm like, holy cow, these were a lot more dirty than I had even realized.
I'm gonna dance, 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 dance. I'm gonna dance, 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 dance,
All right, though, I often, though, like I said earlier, I forget that there are new people here, and you may be new. This may be the first video you have ever seen of mine, and you have no idea who I am. So every once in a while, I do like to do a little bit of an introduction. So my name's Cambria. I am a mom of 4. So my kids range from, well, Xander is turning 13 on Sunday, and little Miss Athena just turned 1 year old. So I have a almost 13-year-old. Bjorn is going to be 10. Freya just turned 5, and Athena just turned 1. Like I said earlier, all their birthdays are pretty much right now. I have 4 kids pretty much within a month of each other, so hectic and crazy. I am married to my husband Bobby for 15 years now, and we are actually originally from Wisconsin and just moved down here to Florida about 3.5 years ago and are absolutely loving it. We are definitely sunshine people. Big reason we moved away from the north was 1, the cold, and 2, the sunshine. We could not handle the dreary winters anymore. So once Bobby retired from the military, we were like, okay, we are out. We are going to Florida. No more gloomy, cloudy, snow-filled winters for us.
There she goes again, beauty queen on the web. But when she goes to bed, it's like a rhythmic nuisance. Play the 19 songs when her dreams were born. This girl is so sweet and slow. Happy girls once, but life's too short. Hanging on in the hope of it all. Wonder if good girls really.
So we do go in the kids' rooms regularly with my wet dry vacuum. Even the kids will do it themselves often, but I had not gotten in here in a while with an actual mop and bucket, and you guys know I love my wet dry vacuums. Like, to me, those are total game changers. They make a huge difference, especially when you have kids and pets. Like, kids and pets just know how to get things dirty, and it's so nice to, when I know I'm going to be vacuuming every single day, the idea that I can pull that out and do a quick maintenance mop on top of vacuuming is huge. But I do think it's still really important every once in a while to get in here with an actual mop and bucket and mop these floors. So that's what I was doing on this day. However, Freya had a hairband. It was one of those headbands that were like all bedazzled and everything. Really cute. It was pink with all these little bedazzled, but it has recently broke. So we have been finding little gemstones everywhere. That's actually what Bobby was picking up, because I did have the robot vacuum go into their rooms once I was done like tidying up and everything. That is usually my like time to be like, okay, I'm gonna go take a break, play with the baby, do what I need to do around the house, other than this, because we all know there's a million and one things other than cleaning that has to get done on a day-to-day basis. And even with sending that in, there were still just like little gemstones throughout. I ended up finding the headband in her bed, so I did end up throwing that out while she was at school. That way she wouldn't realize it got thrown out. But yeah, it was falling apart. It was like one of those that was not even glued on. It was like sewed and weaved in, so when one broke, they all just start unraveling. So it was definitely time, and I didn't want Athena ending up getting any of those gemstones. She's definitely at that age where everything and anything ends up in baby girl's mouth.
Baby, you could be anything. I'm not heading for the stars, driving down the boulevard at night, playing Coldplay on repeat, watching people on the street as I go by. And it doesn't even matter to me where I go, I just feel I need to take a ride. Got my coffee cup to go, and I'm gonna hit the road tonight.
So at this point, it was actually still pretty early in the morning. If you know me at all, you know I do not clean up often at night. I am not a nighttime person. I would much rather do my cleaning in the morning. So I do like in the mornings just to get the kitchen back in order. So that is what I'm doing here. Obviously, my little pre-wash doggy is here. Trust me, I have tried to get her not to lick the dishes. She does not listen to me. Not at all. So I've just gotten to where it is what it is. I think if you have pups that do stuff like that, you know how it is. Like, there's no stopping them. She is a stubborn little girl. And actually, I was talking the other day because it was so funny. There's a person on Instagram that I follow that they have 2 St. Bernards, and they just recently got a little Chihuahua, and the comment section was hilarious because they're like, why would you do that? Why would you get why would you get a little Chihuahua when you have these 2 massive St. Bernards, blah 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 blah. And I was just laughing because when I first saw them, like, oh, you have no idea. These little dogs, they take control. And it's now been about a month or 2 since they got the Chihuahua. And yeah, the Chihuahua has totally taken over. And that's definitely how it is in our house. Now, if Bailey really wants to have control, he can. He has barked at Minnie when she's doing something that he really doesn't like and she backs down. But she is usually the one in control. Like, if he comes over wanting to get pets, she will jump up on the couch onto our laps and get right up in his face and nip at his nose. Like, girl, you are a puppy snack to him. He's like 185 pounds and you're 5 pounds. Girl does not care. She has 0 fear of that dog. She is full on thinking she is a big dog that can take Bailey any day. And St. Bernards are such teddy bears, like giant teddy bears. Sweetest, most lovable dogs in the world that he just puts up with it. He just walks away like, okay, whatever. Like, he knows he's bigger than her and could crush her just by stepping on her, but he just walks away. He's such a good dog.
Windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go.
Oh, I forgot to say too. So on the stove, so if I get a really bad burn on, and if you have glass tops, you know the worst burn on your stove you can get is boiling water. I don't know why it scorches those glass tops so bad, but it does. If I'm making mashed potatoes or noodles or rice and it boils over, that is the worst thing that I can get on there. And whenever I have something like that, I use oven cleaner. That is the magic trick when it comes to your glass stove tops, is oven cleaner. If I won't always put it on the whole thing. Sometimes I'll just put it directly on the burn. But on a day-to-day, usually I'm just using my multi-purpose cleaner. But on this day, it wasn't like really bad, but there's definitely areas that needed to get cleaned up. So I used the spray Barkeeper's Friend, and that got all the little spots off. If you watch one of my last videos, you'll notice that I was cleaning the kickboards under the cabinets, and I noticed while videotaping that under the cabinets were dirty. So yes, I did remember. I got under there. You can see that magic eraser was brand new, and it was pretty gross. Sometimes the things that camera angles see that I can't see with the naked eye is actually a blessing in disguise, because it told me that I definitely needed to get underneath the cabinets and not just the kickboard. So I wanted to make sure to get that done. At this point, Athena had gone down for her first nap, so this was my first cleaning of her toys of the day. This happens about 5,527 times a day, cleaning up her toys. She is a tornado when it comes to her toys and everything. But after kitchen's done, a quick tidy up out there, Xander had finally left for school. Like I said, kids are pretty good at keeping their own rooms clean. I am not one of those moms that's really strict about them making their bed in the morning. If they wake up and have time, they'll make their bed. If they don't, I don't really worry about it too much. I think it is so much more important for the kids to get adequate amount of sleep than getting up early and making their bed. It just doesn't bother me, especially when they do such a good job at keeping the rest of their rooms clean and tidy. The bed is the last thing I worried about. So after he left, I just went in here and pretty much did the same thing, just going around making sure the fans are clean, the windows are clean. However, one area I did notice is really bad, and if you have any advice other than taking all the keys off his keyboard, which I'm thinking is what I'm going to have to do, of how to clean a keyboard, let me know. His keyboard is filthy, and you're going to see that here in a little bit, and I tried multiple different ways, and it is better, but it's still dirty, and I would love your advice because I really don't want to take every single key off to do it, but I'm starting to think that might be the only option to truly clean his keyboard.
Okay, let's go. I'm chasing dreams, I'm chasing light. Pushing boundaries, taking flight. I keep my head high, never look back. No stopping now, I'm on the rise. I'm versatile, yeah, I'll flip the script. Changing the game, baby, I never slip. Head up, I'm moving right to the top. Every door I open, I'm ahead of my time. I'm breaking new ground. You wonder how I do it. Oh, it's just a feeling. It's just a feeling running through my veins. A fire.
Here you can see is when I started on his keyboard. So I started with a Q-tip, and I'm like, okay, maybe this will fit in between these keys to get them clean. It did okay. It got some of it out. It did something, but not as good as I was hoping it would do. So then I ended up coming back with the vacuum, and you'll see that here in a little bit, to try vacuuming up as much as possible. Yeah, like I said, I just need your guys' advice if you have advice when it comes to cleaning these keyboards, because it is so dirty. And I even put the vacuum on like the highest suction possible to try and pull out, and it did pull out some. It did help. And making sure to use the bristles to help loosen it up and get it moving and everything. So my next thought was, I know on the side of the stove, whenever I get spills or something, I like to go in there with like a butter knife and a wipe, and that often does a really good job getting in those little cracks to clean it out. So I was like, okay, let's try that butter knife and knife. This worked better than the Q-tips, but once again, still not perfect. But it did work. It did work a lot better. I feel like if you did not have a keyboard that is as filthy as this keyboard, the butter knife and wipe would work really, really well. But I will tell you, this is tedious, every single one of these keys. But that is why I don't want to take every single key off, because taking them off, that's not going to be a big deal. Like, you just pop them off, no big deal. It's going to be putting them back on. I know you can just take a picture of them, but yeah. The process of putting them back on is the part that I'm like dreading about actually taking this apart to clean that underneath.
All the right words, words from your mouth, holding me tight, saying I'm all yours, but I'm feeling my gut. It doesn't feel right. I see in your eyes. Tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies, tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies, tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies, tell me no lie, lie, lie.
Same situation on his mouths. I moved on to that just to give it a quick wipe down. Once again, just gunk and everything stuck in here. Kids and their sticky fingers. We always say kids have sticky fingers, and this is exactly what I mean. And it doesn't matter if they are 1 year old or 13 years old. The sticky fingers are still definitely a thing. It's funny because now being a parent, there is so much that I have like learned. Like those times when you were a kid and you just didn't understand why your parents cared so much about you putting your feet on the walls, and now I'm that parent that's like, can you get your dirty feet off the walls? Like, I just spent hours today cleaning. Please do not do that. The other thing I was thinking the other day, and I was literally like talking to myself in my head of how it's funny because we always used to wonder like why our parents nagged us about the little things. And so Freya's my super like sensitive child. Like, if she does something wrong, it does not take much to make her aware that you are disappointed in her, and she would just start sobbing. So at their school, they do color days. So a blue day means phenomenal. They were helping the teacher in the class, no redirections. Like, they were just phenomenal. They went above and beyond the expectation. Green day is basically expectation. They may have needed to be redirected once, but really, it was a good day. Green days are great. The teacher always even said, they're like, hey, don't worry if they don't get a blue day. Green days are what expectation is for kids. And then it goes to yellow, orange, and red. And you can imagine it goes down from there. You really, really do not want an orange or a red day. Yellow isn't great, but it's not the end of the world. So Freya has been getting blue days all year round. And then Friday, I guess not yesterday, not over the weekend, but on Friday, she ended up getting a green day, which I know there is nothing wrong with a green day. But I'm like, well, why did you get that green day? Because a green day does mean you've had to be redirected. And she mentioned how at the end of the day, she was getting squirrely and being silly on the floor and whatnot. And I just wanted to talk to her about it. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, now we can learn from that is something that is not acceptable in the class, so we won't do that again. And she just starts not bawling, but that like silent crying to herself, trying not to look at me because she doesn't want me to know that she has tears welling up in her eyes and everything. And I always feel so bad. But I was thinking, I'm like, man, I feel bad bringing up those things, but I always do it not out of being harsh for my kids, because to me, a green day is still phenomenal. But I always tell my kids, you can learn even from mistakes in life. Like, if you get a bad score on your test, don't beat yourself up, because if you tried your hardest, I'm still happy. But the goal is, if you didn't do well, that you learned from that situation. If you learned nothing, that's not good. But as long as you learned something and it's going to better yourself, that is all I care about. I don't care if you're a straight A student, as long as you are doing your best and you are learning from every mistake that you make, if it's academically or on a personal level, which is why when she got a green day over blue day, I wanted to talk to her about it. But like, how do you explain to your child sometimes that this is not me being disappointed in you? This is like strictly out of love that I'm talking to you about this, because I want you to better yourself. I want you to be the best you can be. And for me, talking about mistakes, I think, are a really important part of that. But yeah, I think about little moments like that. And one, it always makes me go back to my faith. Like, okay, now certain things make sense in my faith. I compare a lot of I've learned a lot about my faith after becoming a parent. Let me know in the comments below if you feel the same way. Like, your view on faith and love and everything has evolved, because being a parent, you just learn a new level of love that you never knew before. And respect for my parents has definitely dramatically changed after having children. But yeah, I thought I would just share that with you. As you can see, though, after I went on my rant, you guys know I love to do those rants, just randomly going off. I had moved into our bathroom. This was the last room I was going to get done on this day. I was starting to get tired, but I knew I wanted to get in here and scrub these walls in the bathroom. I haven't done this for a bit, and I was noticing some buildup on here, so I just grabbed my Barkeeper's Friend, the cream, as well as some steel wool, and just gave it a quick rub down and everything. This honestly didn't take me that long, but there's certain projects that I know if I have them on my list for the day, I have to get them done, because the likelihood of me pushing them off is so high. I am someone that I like to just like keep pushing things into the future. So when it's on my list, I do really try to push myself to get it done in that day.
I like to trace all the edges of your name, like a map that leads me to nowhere. Oh yeah, I'm so close to let go of the world unknown. Need to be wherever you are, so take me there. No compromise, no lie. I keep looking for signs, but they're nowhere to be found. If this is where I'm meant to be, then let it be. If it means that I'm yours, don't you set me free. I'm gonna get lost in you, get lost in you, get lost in you. The only way out is through, way out is through. I'm lost in you. Gonna get lost in you, get lost in you, get lost in you. The only way out is through, way out is through.
I would love to know though, what is on your to-do list today? You guys know I love this community so much because, one, you guys keep me motivated and like keep me going. You also remind me of things that I forget about on the regular. But I also love just like the community of watching conversations in the comments of you guys helping each other out. This is literally probably the most encouraging community here on Facebook. So I always love to ask you, what is on your to-do list? Put it in the comments below and let us know if you get it done, if you don't get it done, and let us help encourage you to tackle that. I am also someone that I believe like once I write something down, I feel like I have to get it done, and it's just so much more like, okay, I wrote it down, I have to do this, which is why I like to encourage you guys to put in the comments what you want to get done today, and we will tackle it together. So my goal today is I need to go to the hardware store. I am not a huge fan of going to Lowe's and whatnot, but with the project going on in the bathroom, we have to get that done today. So that is my big deal. And do some stuff in there. I don't want to give too much away, so I'm not going to tell you everything on my to-do list. I'll just let you know it has to do with the bathroom, and I have to go to the hardware store. But that is on my to-do list today. I have no idea how far we'll get, because I feel like that is one of those projects that you just never know how long it's going to take. I am also definitely someone that likes to say, oh, it should probably only take us about a week to do this, and it ends up taking us far longer than that. So I am not putting a time frame on it. I'm just going to bust my butt and hopefully get it done by Sunday, because we have family dinner Sunday. So I need it to at least look presentable by Sunday. So wish me luck. Wish me luck that we at least have it presentable before people come over on Sunday. But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, like always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you are new. And for today, let's drop this emoji down below. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.